Hi guys, I am Ankit. Welcome to our channel EdPunk. In the previous video, we discussed questions 1 to 12 of section A of CBSE Computer Science Class 12 Term 1 sample question paper. In case you missed watching the video, check out the link in the description below. In this video, we will discuss the remaining questions of section A, that is, questions 13 to 25 in detail. Now, before we begin, make sure you download the Edpunk app from Google Play Store or the link provided in the description below to make the most out of the discussion. As for each question, I will also tell you the video in the app where you can learn more about the concept in detail. All materials like notes, videos, practice tests, and NCERT solutions are completely free on the Edpunk app. So don't miss out this opportunity and make the most out of the high quality content provided in the app. Now without wasting any further time, let us go ahead with question number 13 of section A. So the question is, which of the following statement is true? Option A. Pickling creates an object from a sequence of bytes. Option B. Pickling is used for object serialization. Option C. Pickling is used for object deserialization. And option D. Pickling is used to manage all types of files in Python. Now this question is based on the concept of pickling, which is very well explained in the video pickle module. So make sure you check that out. So moving on to the options. The option A is incorrect because pickling creates a sequence of bytes from an object or a data structure. The statement given by option B is true because pickling is used for object serialization. Option C is incorrect as you can deserialize bytes into an object, not an object into bytes. So in option D, it says that pickling is used to manage all types of files in Python. But this is not true as the pickle module implements protocols for binary file reading and writing. So it can manage only binary files. So the correct answer is option B, that is, pickling is used for object serialization. Moving on to the next question. Syntax of seek function in Python is myfile.seek offset reference point, where myfile is the file object. What is the default value of reference point? Option A is 0, option B 1, option C 2, and option D 3. Now, if you have gone through the file reading chapter, you will know that the valid values of reference point are 0, 1, and 2, and its default value is 0, which tells the pointer to move offset number of bytes from the beginning of the file. So the correct answer is option A, that is 0. Moving on to the next question. Question 15. Which of the following components are part of a function header in Python? A. Function name. B. Return statement. C. Parameter list. And D. Both option A and C. The concept behind this question is user-defined functions, and we all know that function header contains the def keyword, the name of the function, followed by the parameters of the function, and finally ends with a colon. So D is the correct answer as both function name and parameter list is present in the function header. Moving on to the next question. Which of the following function header is correct? Option A, def cal underscore si p equal to 100 r comma t equal to 2. Option B, def cal underscore si p equal to 100, r equal to 8, t. Option C, def cal underscore si p, r equal to 8, t. And option D, def cal underscore si p, r equal to 8, t equal to 2. As you can see, these function headers, the only difference in the options is the usage of keyword or named parameters which represent the optional arguments a user can provide while calling the function. In Python, keyword parameters like p equal to 100, t equal to 2 are only allowed towards the end of the parameter list, after all the non-keyword positional parameters. So, p equal to 100, r, t equal to 2, which is option A, is not valid as p equal to 100 occurs before the parameter r. Option B, p equal to 100, r equal to 8, t, and option C, p, r equal to 8, t are also not valid for the same reason, as these keyword parameters happen to be before a non-keyword parameter. In the final option D, all keyword parameters r equal to 8, t equal to 2 are towards the end, and this makes this header a valid header. So the correct answer is option D. Now moving on to the next question. Question number 17. Which of the following is the correct way to call a function? Option A, my underscore func. Option B, def my underscore func. Option C, return my func. Option D, call my underscore func. Now the correct way to call a function is to simply execute its name followed by the arguments. No other keyword is required in the function's call statement, so the right option is option A. Moving on to the next question. Question number 18. Which of the following character acts as a default delimiter in a CSV file? Option A, colon. Option B, hyphen. Option C, comma. Or option D, the vertical line. This question is based on the CSV file format, which is very well explained in the CSV module video. So make sure you check that out. And we all know the full form of CSV is comma separated values. So guess what the default delimiter is? You're right. It is option C, comma. Moving on to the next question. Question number 19. Syntax for opening student.csv file in write mode is my file equal to string student.csv, comma string w, comma new line equal to empty string. What is the importance of new line equal to empty string? Option A, a new line gets added to the file. Option B, empty string gets appended to the first line. Option C, empty string gets appended to all lines. And option D, EOL translation is suppressed. Now, CSV module has its own new line handling mechanism, as there can be a new line character in any field. Hence, when we open a file using the built-in open function, we provide newline is equal to empty string to suppress the default EOL or end of line translation. So the correct answer is option D, which is EOL translation is suppressed. Now moving on to the next question. What is the correct expansion of CSV files? Option A, comma separable values. Option B, comma separated values. Option C, comma split values. And option D, comma separation values. This is again a very straightforward question and the answer is option B, comma separated values. Let us move on to the next question. Question number 21. Which of the following is not a function or method of CSV module in Python? Option A, read. Option B, reader. Option C, writer. And option D, write row. In this question, the option A, read, is actually a method of file object that you obtain when you open a file using the built-in open function. Rest all the other functions or methods like reader, writer, and write row are defined inside the CSV module. Hence, the correct answer is option A, that is read, which is not a method of CSV module. Moving on to the next question, question number 22. Which of the following is the default extension of Python file? Option A, .exe, option B, .p++, option C, .py, and option D, .p. Now for this question, again, you don't need to read any material or watch any video. The answer is straightforward and it is there on the thumbnail of the video, that is .py. Because py is the default extension of Python file. So the correct answer is option C. .exe is the executable Windows file, whereas .p and .p++ is there to confuse you, as they sound similar to .c and .c++, so don't fall in that trap. Moving on to the next question. Which of the following symbol is used in Python for single line comment? Option A, division sign. Option B, division followed by asterisk sign. Option C, double division sign. And option D, hash sign. Now the hash symbol is used to denote the beginning of a single line comment. So the correct answer is option D. Moving on to the next question, question number 24. Which of the following statement opens a binary file record.bin in write mode and writes data from list lst1 equal to items 1, 2, 3, 4 on a binary file? Now this question is based on the concept of binary files, and we interact with binary files in Python using the pickle module. So the options are A, with open record.bin wb as my file pickle.dump lst1, my file. Option B, with open record.bin wb as my file pickle.dump my file, lst1. Option C, with open record.win wb plus as my file pickle.dump my file, lst1. And option D, open record.bin, ab as my file pickle.dump my file, lst1. Now in this case, what are the things that we know? We know that it's a binary file. The second thing we know is that we want to open the file in write mode. So if we look at the options, WB is the correct option to open the file. So options C and D are eliminated. We are left with options A and B. Now, if you remember the syntax of pickle.dump, it is actually pickle.dump the object, the file object. So option A, which is pickle.dump lst1, my file, is the correct answer. Now coming to the final question, which is question number 25 of section A. Which of these about the dictionary is false? A, the values of a dictionary can be accessed using keys. B, the keys of the dictionary can be accessed using values. C, dictionaries aren't ordered. Or D, dictionaries are mutable. This question is based on the concept of dictionary, and there are a whole bunch of videos available on dictionaries, so make sure you watch them. So coming back to this question, option A, yes, the dictionaries are indexed by keys and values can be accessed using these keys. So option A is correct. Option B, keys of dictionary can be accessed using values. Now this is false, Because you cannot access keys using values. You can only access values using the keys. Option C is correct because dictionaries aren't ordered because they are not indexed based on location or position. And option D, dictionaries are mutable. Dictionaries are mutable because you can modify the dictionary values corresponding to some keys or add new values corresponding to some new key. So dictionaries can be modified and they are mutable. So D is also true. So the correct answer was B, where you were trying to access the keys of the dictionary using the values and you cannot do that. With this, we have come to an end of this video and the section A questions. Don't forget to subscribe our channel to watch the rest of the videos and make sure to follow us on our Facebook, Twitter and Instagram accounts to get the latest news and updates from Edpunk. In the next video, which is part 3, we will cover some of the questions of section B. So stay tuned.